Hey everyone, welcome and welcome to week 4 of the 6 Weeks to Success. I just want to take a moment and congratulate you on committing to your business and being here going over these weeks. And it's such a great training, the 6 Weeks to Success. We're always talking about it, and there's a reason. It's really great, and it's awesome that you're here. So pat yourself on the back. Because, you know, the magic at trunk shows really happen, or the magic really happens at trunk shows, I should say. And they honestly, we say it all the time, but they do solve everything. Trunk shows are where you're going to reach the most people at one time, hopefully strangers, who are there specifically for Winnie and Kat. So spending the time to perfect your trunk show and your presentation is really going to help you, and it's time that's absolutely very well spent on yourself and your business. So congratulations for being here. Now, most important, you know, we say it all the time, fun is the #1 commodity in the 21st century, and it is so true. If your presentation and party are fun, hostesses are going to make her party or their party a priority, and they'll schedule a show with you. Women also, it's funny, you know, we spend more money when we're having fun. When we're having a great time, we're loosened up, we're having, you know, we're enjoying our friends and shopping together, and they're going to spend more money on your party. And also, they're more likely to book. Now, part of the party plan is you have to walk the line between, in your presentation, giving them the information they need and keeping it humorous and fun and concise, which is why we recommend your first party or two being practice parties with close friends and family. I always caution stylists, make sure you invite friends who give positive, constructive criticism. Yes, we want to hear honesty, but some friends just can't help themselves in their negative. We know who they are. I know I have some. And their responsibility is not to give me criticism. Their responsibility is to cheer me on. And sometimes I feel like inviting them around and asking their opinion is kind of setting them up to be negative. So be very choosy about who you share these practice parties with, and make sure it's people, like I said, who are positive and will cheer you on. So you want to educate at your parties. We love learning things. As a stylist, you can help style your guests. You can Google different fashion tips. I love Googling things. You can talk about addressing different body type issues, help her celebrate what she loves and disguise what she's not in love with her body. Even if you don't know yet, if you've just started on, you're going to see more and more as women try on the clothes how different pieces fit and which different pieces flatter different body types. So that's just partying. That's why we say partying solves everything. When you get your kit, make sure you try on everything, even if it's in the wrong size, so that you see how it lays on your body and how it fits different parts of you. Talk about what fabrics we use. Our lookbooks have the fabrics. Women love micromodal, and honestly, even those who've never heard of micromodal will a lot of times join in the, oh, it's micromodal, when you announce that the fleece coat is made from luxurious or heavenly micromodal. Remember, Deb Bixler talks about those fun adjectives to use in your presentation. So talk about the fabrics. Let them know what they're made of. They're going to love learning about that. You want to keep, I know you do, but I want to keep I want you to keep your presentations classy and considerate. Remember, you're a business owner. We do party for a living, but you want to keep in mind that you have to keep it classy and comfortable for everyone in the room. Hopefully, with time, if you aren't already, you're going to be speaking to a room full of strangers, and you won't know their taste or comfort level. Sometimes women aren't comfortable letting anyone know when she's offended, so play it safe with your presentation. No gender, class, social status specific kind of content. Make sure you include everyone. That's why we talked about being there a little bit early before your trunk show. We talked about that last week, so that you can chat it up with the guests before the party, so you know who you're speaking to and you can kind of tweak your presentation toward them. Next, we're going to mind the time. Most TV shows are 30 minutes for a reason. You're going to lose their attention after that. One of the best parts about our business is that your presentation really doesn't have to be that long. If you show pieces individually, and even if you don't, through your presentation, make eye contact. That's going to keep them engaged. Use as many names as you can and as you can remember, and then, you know, stay engaged with them. You know, say something about how great the certain piece feels, don't you think so, Julie? Where would you wear this? You know, Emma, whatever. Just start including people in your conversation. Always ask questions. Make your audience feel important. Games are a great way to keep everyone engaged and focused, too. We'll talk about games in a little bit. So next we're going to talk about your display. Here's Cindy, one of our local stylists. Yes, we wear our clothes out, but you want to make sure you have your personal collection and then some pieces that are really pristine and never worn. If you have pieces in your kit in your size, be careful that if you do wear them, just be really gentle with them so they always look great. When the next collection is released, this is fun because you can wear them all you want, but keep everything on your racks looking new. Never forget to keep your business duplicable. A very ornate display may turn some women away. You notice Cindy in this picture, those racks, they look fine, they look great. No one is going to say I'm not buying your clothes because your racks only cost $12 from Target, but that's what those cost. And Cindy's one of our top sellers, so she does great. And she can brag about that. She can tell people, hey, these were only like 12 or 14 bucks at Target, and let everyone know they can do this. You also want to keep your ordering area really organized. I used to have an in a hurry box and an I can wait box. It was just 2 cardboard boxes that I covered with contact paper. Then I had my party folder that we talked about last week with your hostess worksheets to keep order forms in, and then a little envelope or cash box for checks and cash. Now, if you do love a theme, be careful not to go overboard. It's all about the clothes. You don't want to overshadow them with fluff. So moving right along, you want to develop your personal story. Here's one of our fabulous stylists, Janessa. You're going to see some familiar faces today. The personal story should be a fun but crucial part of your presentation. You want guests to get to know you, and you're going to show them how easy it is to be successful, and it's really crucial to sponsoring. A personal story will turn women from strangers, your personal story will turn women from strangers to friends and customers to hostesses and stylists. So really practice it. You want to be relatable and conversational. As you go on in your business, you may even have a few personal stories to share, and make sure there's something that everyone in the room can relate to. For instance, if I'm speaking to a group that doesn't have a lot of kids or a lot of moms in the room, I'm not going to talk about my kids a lot. I may chat about how I paid for my husband and my trip to Cabo. If you can also, they're not going to relate to stories about your kids helping to put together hostess packets. My kids used to help me put together the hostess gift bags. When there are mommies in the room, I talked about that. No mommies, I didn't talk about that. Your story should connect them to you and make them think, hey, I could do this, you know. Gain trust. Your personal story should share enough about you personally that she feels like she gets to know you. Speak as though you're just sitting down for coffee. You want to touch on several key aspects of the opportunity. Focus on the friendships you make. Focus on helping other women. Focus on the income potential, getting out of the house, that kind of thing, rather than all of your personal stories. The more general you are, you want to have a couple personal stories, of course, but those generalizations, like, you know, I personally have friends now in Arkansas, in St. Louis, in Florida that I would have never met before, Michigan, without Winnie and Kat. So that's a fun thing to share. Let's see, next slide. Oops, just kidding. You want to talk about what makes Winnie and Kat special. Now, you don't want to badmouth another company, but point out what's unique about us. I like to say we offer a thoughtfully concise collection that mixes and matches beautifully while streamlining and simplifying our wardrobes, and offers women of all shapes and sizes an extra stream of income without breaking the bank on samples. So what I've just talked about, the hostess opportunity and the guest or the customer opportunity, that it streamlines and simplifies your wardrobe, it mixes and matches beautifully, and also talks about the extra stream of income, and we don't have a ton of samples, so it's not an expensive clothing company. Some of the clothing companies out there are quite expensive to join. You want to add humor. Don't take yourself too seriously. Get them laughing and having fun. If you're a little on the shy side, I love Deb Bixler's icebreaker game. Have them go, or not game, icebreaker. Have them go around the room and just share their name and either their favorite Winnie and Kat piece or what their personal style is. You know, people are really funny. Let them go for it and talk about themselves and laugh, but you keep the party under control by asking questions. As women speak, if they start to get chatty, just take a step or two toward them and ask them a question. It's all about getting them to relax and feel comfortable with you as their stylist. You want to make your presentation flow. When you have shows on your calendar, you can't help but practice and get better. Practicing in front of your friends until it's conversational and natural. I also practice any speech I'm going to do, I practice it in front of a mirror with eye contact with myself in the mirror. It's a lot harder to do it that way than just looking into midair. If you need notes, great, brag about that, cool. You could say something like, you know, ladies, if you told me a few months ago that I would be speaking in front of a room full of women, I would have laughed. But my fabulous mentor, Debbie, assured me that it was perfectly fine to use notes, so here you see me using my notes. If you say something like that, you just spoke to the shyest woman in the room who doesn't think she can do this. You want to kiss it, which I love this. Keep it short and simple. Your personal story should only last about 3 minutes, max, done. As much as we love to talk about ourselves, they don't want to hear a long story. They don't want to hear about it. At our retreat, Grace Keohohu spoke to us about a study that was done, and I think it's hilarious. A woman got on a plane. She knew she was part of the study, and a guy sat down next to her for the entire flight. All he did was ask questions and then listen to her, and then he'd ask another question. Didn't tell her anything about himself. When she got off the plane, she was asked what she thought of the gentleman sitting next to her. She said, he was the most interesting person I've ever met in my life. People love to talk about themselves. They love when you ask questions. You want to, in all of your presentation, you want to give them enough information, but not too much. Find out about them. We always say when you're talking one-on-one, have them talk 80% of the time and you talk 20%. Have I mentioned practice? We all get butterflies before we get started. Practice and consistency, it's going to keep you comfortable. The best thing you can do for your nerves is to start by thanking your fabulous hostess, introduce yourself briefly, and share your personal story. As far as that personal story goes, you're going to practice it and know it upside, inside, and upside down. So by the time you get through it, those first nerves are going to be gone and you're going to be more comfortable and loosened up. Make sure you're talking about the 3 ways to get involved. Invite them to be a customer, a hostess, and stylist. You're going to mention that like 3 times. Now, what if you've only been in Winnie and Kat for a little while and you don't have a whole lot to brag about yet? You know what? You sure do. You are smart enough and savvy enough to see what amazing business opportunity this is, and you acted on it, and that makes you a rock star. You acted on your intuition. You are the one woman in the room who had the foresight to start on this incredible path with Winnie and Kat to financial independence and also taking control of your income. So recognize that you're already ahead of the pack. Own that with every molecule of your bodies, and you're going to let that excitement shine through. While women join Winnie and Kat, what they really do is they join your team. They join you, and they join you because you're this effervescent, lovely woman who they want to be a part of your team in your life, and they want to be a part of your culture. Stay in love with your business. Talk about what made you take the leap to owning your business. What was it in your life that was a catalyst for change? What about the business clicked for you? You can share that kind of stuff. So now I got a little overeager. Next slide. Always talk about, again, the 3 ways to be involved. You're going to mention them 3 times, but I always joke you're going to mention them 30 times because you're going to use your sliced bread stories that there's training for. If you like I used to say, if you like what you see, why not make a purchase and inject new life into your wardrobe? If you love it, host a party and get free and half-off pieces. If you're like me and you want it all, join my team. How would you like, you can also talk about how would you like me to share Winnie and Kat with you? After you say those things. It's a nice thing to say. Anastasia talked about this with me one day and I loved it, so I'm stealing it. You can also, during your presentation, you can pick up items. You can say something like, you know what, this is one of my favorite, my hostess's favorite free piece, or this is a piece that I couldn't wait to get in my kit when I was looking at the business. Just interject little tiny seeds, sow little seeds through your presentation or as you're talking to women. When they come into the ordering room, and ask ordering room, ask how they would like to be involved. You've said several times already how they can get involved, so she's going to have already thought about this. So ask, how would you like me to involve you in this business? Okay, so these are polarizing. I get it. People cringe when we mention games. I do too. Some of them are awful. Not all of them are. We're going to go over a few here, and I can also share them with you. I have some scripts for some later on I can share if you like. The first one is called Ring Me Up. This is one that I did, and I loved it. It's a really quick game. It's a great way to get everyone into the presentation room, and it's also a very sneaky way of getting your information into your phone or their phone. So what you do, have them all grab their cell phones, and you're going to give them your phone number. The first one who calls through wins a prize. It's so easy, and everyone gets competitive. Have everyone then say, well, you got my number there. Enter me as your stylist. What I did, enter them, or have them enter your full name as your first name. So I would have them enter my first name as Tiff Mulligan, and then have them enter Winnie and Kat as your last name. So if they remember your first name, boom, they got it. If they only remember Winnie and Kat, they can still access it. Your name will still pop up as their stylist. Then I would have them soften or turn their ringer off to vibrate so that it wouldn't disrupt the party. You can stack the hostess. It's not really a game, but it's a great visual. We have this on the party I did at Diane's house. It's on our, if you go to, it's media and then videos on the stylist forum. What you can do is you can tell everyone, you know, our average party is about $1,000. For that, you get $170 in free clothing as the hostess for the evening. Have your hostess sit down in a little chair in front of everyone. You can start pulling things out like the soft high-low tee. So you can tell them she'll get this for free, she'll get these leggings for free. Just start piling things on her. She can get this for half off. It's a fun little visual, especially if your hostess is really fun. The icebreaker game that Deb talks about. There's also one called the candy name game that you can integrate in with the icebreaker. So if my hostess were to ask me, what I would do is say my name, the name of a candy that starts with the same letter of my first name. So I could say, hi everyone, my name is Tiff and I like taffy. My favorite piece of Winnie and Kat is the soft high-low tee, something like that. The two friends, it's not a game again, but this is really fun. Lisa Connors up in Bend, Oregon talked about this. When you get to your hostess's home, have her write down the name of two women she thinks will host a party. Make a big deal out of it. Don't show me, it's a surprise. At the end of the evening, if they both book, your hostess is going to win a prize. And of course, she's also going to get those $50 credits at their party. So that's a fun one to get the hostess excited and to get her talking to her friends about hosting a party. Now, trunk show squares. This one, I know it's considered a lottery or a raffle, so you do have to kind of check on the legality of it, I guess. I've heard in different states. Everyone can buy a square or whatever for whatever cost you decide. It can be $1 each, $2 each, $5 each. You can have 50 or 100 squares available. Now, everyone who bought a square at the show, they can buy as many squares as they want. They have their name in a raffle, and all that money, they buy them for cash, all that money gets put into a kitty or whatever. They get one ticket for every square they purchase. At the end of your presentation, you draw a name. That person gets the total dollar amount of squares in Winnie and Kat. It's a fun game. Someone gets something for free, and really there's no money out of your pocket, so that's a cool one. We talked about that, or Lindsay talks a little bit about that last week in hostess coaching, that you talk about this in your hostess coaching, weeks 1 through 3. You tell her about trunk show squares, have her tell her people about trunk show squares, and have them sign up for the different squares and give her cash or whatever. Now, the Hawaiian name game, these are great stallers. If people are running late, sometimes, I know I always say, speak to whoever's in the room, whoever was on time. But sometimes there's traffic jams, you know, whatever happens. It's nice to have this as a little staller. You can see on the left side, people close their eyes and draw something on the Hawaiian island on a piece of paper you give them. Then they, they pass the paper to the person on their left, and they grade it, and whoever gets the most amount of points gets a prize. So that's a fun one. And again, it's a great staller. There's more games, by the way, if you Google. These are just some of the highlight ones that I really liked. Pass the prize. This is another one. If you're running late, And the hostess can do the last one too, but if you're running late or someone's running late, it's a great staller. The hostess can even do this one for you. You hand her this piece of paper, have her read it out loud to her guests, and the last person to be holding the gift gets the prize. They get the gift. So that's kind of a fun one. And again, it's a good staller to have in your back pocket just in case life happens, because it sure does. So moving right along in my notes, finally, we're going to talk about homework. You're going to prepare 3 to 5 party games that you like, that seem like they'd be fun. Complete your trunk show presentation and practice, practice, practice. You want to go gardening one day. So important every week just to take the time, garden at least one day a week. Book 1 or more shows in the next 2 weeks. Why not shoot for 2 or 3 in the next 2 weeks? Get on the phone, start talking to previous customers, talking to your friends, family, whatever. If you're traveling, reach out to people in the area you're going to for Christmas or whatever holiday. So have fun with your homework. Let me know how it goes. And finally, of course, usually I leave you with a quote, but I kind of found a lot. So John Lasseter says, people want to be creatively satisfied, and having fun is such an important part of that. It's important for your team to have fun and for your team to enjoy. It's not just your hostess who's your business partner for the evening. Your team is your business partner for life, so make sure they're having fun. That would be my phone ringing because I forgot to mute it. That's okay. Tone Loc, who doesn't need advice from Tone Loc? It's all about having fun and smiling and shaking hands. I love this one from Derek Jeter, the baseball player. You got to have fun. Regardless of how you look at it, we're playing a game. It's a business. It's our job. But I don't think you can do well unless you're having fun. We're having parties. Yes, it's a business. Yes, we are running it like a business. But you got to have a great time. Finally, Steve Jobs, can never argue with him. I think we're having fun. I think our customers really like our products, and we're always trying to do better. I think he could be talking about us at Winnie and Kat. We're always improving things, and you guys are amazing. You're providing your hostesses with great parties. You're here working your business, making it fun, simplifying it, streamlining it. So thank you so much for joining, ladies. I congratulate you on taking this step for your business, and I hope you take a moment to celebrate that and pat yourself on the back. So have a great week, enjoy your businesses, and reach out to the home office if you need anything at all. Take care, guys.